What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Philip Michael. Welcome to Ask Philip, aka Slidin in the DMs, aka the DM Zone, where I basically answer your DMs about anything from money, life, relationships, and anything in between. So let's get to it. The short answer is yes, you can invest in Bitcoin. You can go buy it on Robinhood right now. It's freely available to you. You just go in there, you type in how much you want to buy of it. If it's $1, $100, $1,000 is entirely up to you. So yes, you can absolutely do that. In terms of suggestions for you to invest in, number one, I just want to preface this by saying, and I always say this, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not at liberty to do that and tell you and guide you where you should go. What I can say is just some basics and perhaps what I would do for myself. Now, in terms of, I think I know where you're getting at with the Bitcoin. It's hot, it's popular. A lot of people saying it's going to blow up and a lot of people are going to become rich from it. You never want to go into an investment thinking that you're going to get rich quick. You want to get into something that you believe in for the long term. It's kind of like you can equate money, wealth to health. You don't go in the gym and become a bodybuilder overnight. It just doesn't happen. Everybody conceptually understands. It's kind of like when we were children. We just want to grow up so fast. Like we wish we were adults tomorrow so we had some freedom. It just doesn't happen. It just has to take its course, right? Money's the same way. So if you jump into something where you expect to get a big, quick gain and get rich quick, you're likely going to lose over and over and over. I'm not saying this to say that Bitcoin isn't a viable investment for the future. The jury's still out on that. But to answer your question, yes, you can buy Bitcoin. You can do it on Robinhood. It's a quick Google search if you want to find other places where you can buy it. And then if you want to invest in other things, just be intelligent, have a diversification strategy, meaning you can put something into S&P 500 stocks, you can put something into companies that you know, and then you can allocate a smaller portion to things like Bitcoin or cannabis, things that potentially have high upside but still are unproven. Make sense? Hope that helps. So again, this is another one of those questions. Any legit Bitcoin investments? I think I know what you're really asking. Again, Bitcoin is one of the cryptocurrencies. There's others like Dogecoin, whatever they call it. There is Ethereum, Ripple. There are different ones. So I think I understand where you're coming from when you say, any legit Bitcoin investments. For Bitcoin itself, just go on Robinhood, you pick it up there. Now, in terms of other cryptocurrencies, again, the jury's still out. Bitcoin is the one that's ahead. And if you believe in the thesis of Bitcoin and you look at it as sort of a digital version of gold where you can store value, even if you don't believe it's going to be adopted as the way that we transact with one another. I buy milk from you, I buy shoes from you, whatever. Even if you don't believe it's going to go there, but you still believe it's going to be something as a digital, something similar to a digital version of gold, then yeah, there's a finite supply of Bitcoin. So for that reason, just like you have gold, you have silver and less precious metals, you could have, in theory, and something that you could see emerge, and it would mirror trends that have happened before, where you can have the silver and bronze equivalent of Bitcoin, which will be other cryptocurrencies. Who are those? It's hard to say. It could be Ethereum. It could be one of the other ones. It's really hard to say. The jury's still out on that, so you just got to be mindful. Bitcoin seems to be the market leaders. Then you have stuff like NFT now, so it's definitely something to watch. But in terms of other cryptos, I'd be mindful and do a lot of research, and you really just have to take a leap of faith because no one really knows where it's going to go, and that's just the truth. Chris, that's a really good question. If you have $20K a year to invest, what would you advise? All right, $20K a year. Just think about this. Over the last 140 years, the stock market as a whole has gone up by between 9 and 10% every single year. No matter what happens in between, no matter what volatility, outswings, depressions, crises, whatever happens, it averages that. So if you can just stay calm when these things happen, and they will, over time, you're gonna win. And it seems as though you have your millionaire hat on because you're not thinking day to day, you're not thinking month to month, you're thinking decade to decade, which is brilliant because that's literally one of the things that sets apart the 1% from the 99%. That's really it. So you pretty much cracked the code. Congrats to you. And you have 20,000, great place to start. Let's go back to the 9 to 10% compounded every year. Let's get to it. Did you know that all it takes for you to double your money is a 15% return over a 5-year period? So if you're talking 5 years, look, that 20K, let's say the 9 to 10% is over the past 140 years. If you go back to the last 5 years, that's a 100% return. Just go look at the top S&P 500 ETFs that pretty much mirror the stock market as a whole and see their returns. You'll have the total returns like 100% over the past 5 years, right? So let's say let's reasonably assume that they will do something similar for the next 5. And with inflation, I personally believe that they will. That 20K, just put it to work. 5 years, you got 40, maybe more, 50, and that's when your money starts growing. And I think that's probably the best way you can do it passively. If you just stay away from when people get all hyped up and they start selling, just keep it there and continue to invest. There's this strategy called dollar cost averaging. Basically, you put down a set amount, $500, $1,000, $2,000. If you do this over a 10-year period, starting from $20,000, becoming a millionaire isn't a maybe. It's not even a probability. It becomes an inevitability. So you're really in the best place to start. Your heart is in the right place. Plow down that $20,000, because if you have it sitting in cash, it's going to erode in value. There's so much more money being pumped into the economy that $20,000 is not going to. Let's imagine you could buy let's say with $20,000, you can buy 20,000 of these. In a couple of years, you'll only be able to buy 15,000 of those, right? Does that make sense? So put it to work. Continue to invest, and by the time and before you know it, you'll have $1 million. So go for it, Chris. That's all from me. Thank you guys for sending in the questions, and thank you so much for watching Bold Business. As usual, if you want to get your DMs answered, we'll do it right here on camera. Make sure you slide into the DMs at Bold TV everywhere, or YFWTB on Instagram. Until next time, peace out.